Hi, everybody. Today, I want to let you know what we're covering. We're going over types of content. So I'm real interested in generic content versus branded generic content versus personalized content. And we'll explain what that all is in just a bit. But last time we went over when and how often to post. Jen was awesome with getting that done for us. Hi, Jen. How you doing today?
Good morning, Brett. It's great to be back.
Good deal. Great to have you back. And I'm really intrigued about all this because I really have a hard time posting generic content. I think it's bad. I think it bores people. They stop coming to your page. Even branded generic content is a little tough. And let me see if I can pull this stuff up. I've had
Yeah.
a bit of a hard time getting these stuff done. I think here we go. Okay, share this. I think we got this.
There we
So
go.
we can see this now. And whoa, what happened there? It got all fuzzy.
It did get all fuzzy.
But this is just back to school. It's not saying who it's back to school for. It's not saying anything like that. So let's stop share screen and let's try another one and see if we can get this next one up. And this is what I call a branded content. So
Yep.
this has Owen Orthodontic Center, but it's talking about a generic thing. It's talking about, let's get rid of that for a second. Fact check, George Washington really has nothing to do with Owen, has to do with orthodontics or just history of teeth. So that's my idea of branded content. And then your personalized content is here at Owen Orthodontics, we do this. We help you with your smile by doing this. These are our patients, these are our staff, this is our doctor. That's all personalized content to me. So
Yep.
those sort of the three, the has nothing to do with anyone, not even branded, back to school. Then you're, oh, here's a good story about George Washington and we slapped our logo on it, and then personalized. So what's your take with all that?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was going to boot me again. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, great. So I agree with you. Generic content is a battle we see in the social media marketing world for sure. It's reshares of those generic holiday posts. People are notorious for sharing, you know, even the happy Thanksgiving without anything personalized. And
Right.
those generic posts aren't doing anything for you. For one, people are scrolling and you need to grab their attention. So if you have a great graphic, but it doesn't say who you are, then what's the point, right?
So you think this is going to show up in a scroll where they're not going to scroll through your page and see this and go, oh yeah, this is something to stop. Is it going to be a detriment? Is it going to stop them from coming to your page next time because there's nothing here I want to see?
I think if you do too much generic content, absolutely. I mean, if it's the once in a while generic piece of content, then I don't think it's detrimental. But if you're going to take the time to save that back to school graphic, let's use that, take the 5 minutes longer to at least go on Canva, find one of their templates for back to school because there's a million of them, change it to your colors, add your logo. So at least it's got some branding aspect to it. Because yeah, if
Right.
I go to your page, let's use an orthodontist. That's a great example. If I'm looking for an orthodontist and I go to your social media page because you bothered to have a social media page, and all it is these generic content for months and months, and I can't get an idea of why on earth I should pick you to do something like work on my mouth, then I'm going to move on to somebody else that's sharing, client reviews and what makes you different and what's the culture like inside your office, because we know that's a big thing right now is corporate social responsibility, which is what my master's degree is in, so I think about it all the time. But like what goes on behind the scenes? Do I want to be supporting your practice? And you're not going to get that from that generic content. um, and there's so many other options that you've got to be putting out there why people should first stop the scroll and pay attention to you, but then take that next step of booking an appointment.
Exactly. And that's so you went straight from well, you talked about generic, then generic branded, and then personalized. And that personalized, giving that backstory, that history, that what we are, who we are, what we stand for, why we're here, why we love helping people with orthodontics is so crucial
Yeah.
to getting people to stop. I mean, is that the first thing they're going to see? Probably not. They've looked at the Google page. They might have stopped by the web page. They might have seen something else, a few shorts or who knows what, if you bothered to put them out there. But to be able to get that history, if they're there, let's not
Yeah.
give them generic. Let's give them a deeper backstory and then branded stuff at the very least.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's what I was thinking would be the case, but it's really nice to hear from you that that's so. My next question then is, if that's what we do, how do we do that?
I mean, my biggest suggestion is to hire somebody that can do it for you. I mean, I work with all small businesses, and small business owners. We are control freaks, and we're notorious for thinking we can do everything, and that nobody can do it as well as we can, right?
Mhm,
And especially sharing our story because that's very personal.
mhm.
But there are so many professionals, people like me out there, that it's our job to figure out how to tell your story because, especially orthodontists, you are seeing clients all day. And I think a big mistake in a lot of offices is they have a front admin person just do social media, just throw
Okay.
something out there.
And that's where
Um,
you get the generic or the generic branded at best.
exactly. So I mean, there's a lot of people willing to do. I've heard a lot about doing like trades for services and stuff like that
Mhm.
that a lot of people are willing to do. But I do think social media, it's interesting because small business owners have always thought they could just do their social media, right? I don't need to hire somebody to talk about my business, but your time is better spent elsewhere. And it is one of those things that, like, at least have somebody help you make sure it's done, because we talked about consistency last month. And if you're
Right.
doing, because you're so busy working in your business as you should be, that you're only throwing a post out every other week or something like that, then you're hurting yourself in the long run. So it takes some planning and scheduling, and it is one of those things. And it's not just because I do it, but I do think it's worth hiring somebody that it is their passion. It is what they love to do, because you're going to get the best results and the best bang for your buck that way.
Exactly. And your buck, you're making more money by doing what you do than you are
Yes.
by throwing up personalized or branded generic posts. I've got a one doctor, and she's just getting started. She's got a young family, and she is doing it all. I mean, I do the Facebook lives with her, and I help her with some of the harder stuff, and put this stuff out and make shorts out of them and do some other stuff. But her regular posts are still going out, and she is making them up in the middle of the night or
Oh,
early in the morning on her day off instead of working on other stuff in the office. And at some point, you just get too big. Your time is too valuable to do that. At first, yeah, everybody's going to do that and go, wow, this sort of sucks. Or they aren't going to do it because it sucks and they don't want to do it. And then they don't have the content out there to help grow their business. So it's an evolutionary process for every small business. It seems that they come to this realization that, okay, I can do other things much better to advance my business and bring somebody on to do this sort of stuff for pennies on the dollar compared to what I can make spending that same amount of time and effort on other parts of my business.
yeah, exactly.
So that's the fun part, and it's hard enough for us to figure out what's best and what trends are happening and what music to overlay on your shorts and what's trending and what's not. And
Yep.
oh, good grief!
Yeah,
It's
and
like
but we have
it's
the
a
it's our job to find it, and it's, the orthodontist or the realtor or, my newest client does website development. She builds really complex websites. It's really cool. Her time is better spent there doing the research
Mhm.
on her field and her specialty. I'm all about encouraging people to stay in their lane so that other people can thrive in their lane too. I think that especially in small business, that's how we all succeed, is by letting people do what they do best and sticking to what we do best, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I'm trying to learn to do this for my clients, take it off their plate. I'm even thinking about hiring someone to do that for my clients because I have enough stuff to do keeping track of Google. Google is
Right.
almost everything I do, and they change things so much. I had a lady this morning email me about a Google page. Hers is completely gone now, and she's got a new one with 3 reviews on it. and that's the one they're going with. I have to go find that old one, marry it to the new one, convince Google to do all this stuff. And that's what I'm good at. But trying to learn to do all this stuff with posts and generic and branded and personalized and do all that is sort of a waste of my time too. So I'm actually looking at going and do that. And I'm basically in the industry. I am in the industry. It's just a subset of what I do.
Absolutely.
So,
Right, and, like, I could figure out some stuff on Google to go in the reverse, but I'm better off referring those clients to you for that, because that's your lane, that's where you thrive, and you've spent a lot of time learning it. So, again, every small business owner, we think we can do it all because, we're pinching pennies, especially when you're starting, but you're gonna have more success if you let people help, right? I mean, that's such a simple concept, is let people help you, let them do what they do best so you can focus. And that's why I started my business, was to help small business owners do what they do best because they have more time to do it.
exactly. Well, that circled around and bit me right in the butt when I didn't expect it. What just happened?
I'm good at doing that.
That worked out. All right. So that's it for today. We'll take a look at where else we want to go with this next month and see what we want to do, and just continue this conversation on how to get this content out, what to do with it, and what works best for you. So we hope to see you next time. Jen, thank you so much for your help today.
Yeah, thank you, Brett. I really appreciate it.
Have a good one.